Don't speak what you don't understand. The truth is not in your command. Don't shout about what you think is fake. The decision isn't yours to make. Don't lie about the way things are. Tall tales will take you very far. Don't stop when they say it's the end. In this life, you know you can't pretend.
Always does that. Hey everyone, it is Friday, February 6th at 5 p.m. I am glad to see all of you. I don't have too much for you today. It is still the start of the new year and still so many things are happening. What I can tell you is I still need people to register for that March 24th bus to come to Albany. We have 2 buses leaving Lower Manhattan at 8 a.m. on the 24th for our lobby day, and a press conference that we are holding from Albany. So for as many of you as I possibly can get to come with us, please sign up on that list. Let me see if I can quickly find our sign up list. Here we go. And what I really need is for you and your friends, your colleagues, to decide you're going to join us on this trip. This is really important because what are we doing on this day? So this whole event, other than just our lobby day, if you've never done that, because we did it once in 2024, I guess, we took a lot of retirees, I think like 4 buses of retirees up to Albany. And we did a press conference and we knocked on doors and we introduced ourselves to legislators and told them about our legislation and why it was really important to us and that we wanted them to get on it. And especially it was important because they get to see you. When they know who you are and they know that you're their constituent, it does help get that attention. They can't hide from that, and it builds that relationship. You want a friendly meeting with them to explain that you are a constituent, that this means a lot to you, and you would want their support and tell them why. And so in order to prepare you for that day, what we do is that we will, after everyone's signed up, we're going to hold a Zoom call to tell all of you what to do. Yes, our bathrooms, our buses have nice bathrooms. We rent nice buses. We had some really horrible experiences when we started this with some really bad bus companies. Now we have a great bus company and we have wonderful drivers, the same people that have been driving us over and over. We keep using because they are fantastic. So I just put the link in the chat. If you would please sign up and join our trip. I only have about 32 people on here. And I could really use, it's 52, I need 100 people. So you can sign up to bring your friend, you could sign up to bring your spouse, you could sign up to bring your neighbor, anyone that will help lobby for you, because your neighbors are also constituents. Maybe this doesn't necessarily affect them, but if they want to support you, or maybe this does support them, or this supports you, or this supports a family member, get them to get involved, because this will affect everybody. We need to be able to protect our Medicare benefits for everyone that's on Medicare, any city retiree. It's really, really important. The buses have room to stow walkers. Yes, they do. Your walkers and scooters can go underneath, and we provide you with lunch and dinner as well. So nothing on, oops. Okay, so there we go there. But Yes, this is I think you'll enjoy this trip, and you'll also enjoy the training that we're going to provide you with as well. I think you'll really enjoy all of that. So March 24th, the bus leaves at 7 at, but you need to be there by 7:30. The bus leaves at 8 a.m. City Hall. And we will be leaving Albany at about 3:15, and then getting back down about 7:15, 7:30. But I like to say 8 to 8 just because you just never know. Traffic, whatever. Hi, Larry. How are you? Okay. Yes, many of you have asked us about Kathy Hochul, governor, choosing to give her lieutenant governor position to Adrian Adams. Many of you have definitely expressed your dislike for that. But I want to frame it to you in this way. Do you know who our current lieutenant governor is? Do you know who the lieutenant governor was before? Do you know who the governor was before that? And if you don't, that's because lieutenant governors don't really have power. Linda, I'm not muted. I was muted at the beginning, but I'm not muted now. Yeah, so Mr. Delgado is her current lieutenant governor, and he's running against her. Most people don't know that, Camille. Thank you for sharing that. But yes, most people don't. Do you know who the lieutenant governor was before? Do you know any lieutenant governors? Can you tell me? You can all tell me a million things that every governor in the state of New York has done. But can you tell me anything about a lieutenant governor? Not really. And that's why we have a really good team, our advisors and our legal team. Yes, Hochul was Cuomo's lieutenant governor, Bill. And that's what I said yesterday to our advisors. Well, what if we have another situation like this? That could be a problem. Yeah, absolutely. But you're right. But we're told it's not a major issue for us yet. We don't foresee this to be an issue. And our lobby team, we have a wonderful lobby team working with our board in trying to get our state and our city bills reintroduced. Both bills are important because remember, the city council bill would just be for city retirees. The state bills for all state municipal workers. We want to make sure that everyone is protected. Whether you are a city retiree or a state retiree, it's absolutely important to protect all of your healthcare benefits. The state should never be moving to force retirees into Medicare Advantage or diminish benefits for a retiree, and we're going to make sure that our voices are heard. After all, you are a retiree. You are no longer in a union, and there are many retirees who were never union. If this was something that the unions were taking up, I'm sure we would partner with them if they did, but they're not. And unfortunately, in the city of New York and in several counties around the state, unfortunately, some ill-advised, poor union leadership have tried to force retirees into Medicare Advantage. They don't understand the difference. Even full legislatures are trying to do that. And that is also a problem. So our organization exists to protect the rights and the benefits vested and earned by a retiree. Yes, the one who replaced Elliot, David Patterson. See, you guys know some of your history. I'm really glad. So that's that. The next thing that we're getting a lot of emails on is Trump RX. So I want to address that right up front. Most of you have a Medicare Part D plan or a creditable Part D plan. And if you are on a Medicare plan and your plan also has, you'll know it's a Medicare Part D plan if you have a maximum $2,100 out-of-pocket expenditure, meaning that is the most that you will spend in a year, in a calendar year. So if that is your Medicare Part D plan, you have a plan that has that maximum, I want to caution you, especially if you don't have a deductible or if you have a low deductible, you should not be using the drug plans like a Cost RX, a Cost Plus, what's the other, or even the Trump RX plan, because those expenditures don't count towards your maximum out of pocket. And that's really important, especially if you're taking a lot of medication, because then if you can see a drug that you might take on that plan, on one of those non-prescription plans, non-insurance plans, whatever you spend on there doesn't count towards your maximum out of pocket, which means you're going to keep spending and spending and spending there on that one drug, because right now there's only 16 drugs on that plan. So it goes around insurance. It is a direct to consumer sale portal. You link, when you click the link on the page that you want that medicine, it takes you directly to the portal of the manufacturer to directly purchase it from there. That is the issue, because that is not connecting to your insurance. It's an end run around your insurance. Now, who would that be helpful for? People who don't really have insurance, or people who have a very, very, very high deductible. On many Medicare Part D plans, you have a $615 deductible, but that $615 deductible is applied to the $2,100 maximum out of pocket. So it's really important that you look at that and evaluate all of those things. Just don't make a very hasty decision about that. Let's see. Diane, our lieutenant governor, if he or she says go governor, then they're on the side with influence. If not, no influence. Hence, perhaps even Delgado and formerly Hochul and Adams' influence will be against us. So, Diane, like I said, it's still early. Our state bill hasn't been introduced yet, but once it does, I'm sure we will give you feedback and keep you posted on where the administration stands and where the opponents stand as well, like we've always done. Does the lieutenant governor step into the shoes of the governor if the governor can no longer carry out the duties of the governor? Yes, Brenza. That's what happened to Governor Hochul. Because remember, you had Andrew Cuomo there, and when he stepped down because of allegations, there you go. Yeah, so Camille, this is horrible. I am so shocked to see that this has happened, that she enabled non-union nurses to cross the picket line, and that's what's actually causing the strike to last longer. You know, I was stunned to see that. I mean, I understand from a business perspective and a patient perspective why. It was bad business. That to me says that there isn't union support, which is why I think Adrienne Adams, and if you guys keep looking on her social pages or her wiki page, they keep saying that she is from a union family. Problem, you know. I think they're using her for cover for some of the things that Kathy has done, but. Yes, I watched the NISNA, the nurses chatter today, and they are not happy with the decisions that have come out of Albany. Hi, Barbara. You're welcome, Annie. Hello, Lori. Is there a seat on the bus for Mom Donnie? He is familiar with the area. Darn. Has he? No, he hasn't. And our team is up in Albany and Syracuse this week, so I'm sure I'll get more feedback when they circle back with me for a report. But yes, we're still trying to communicate with them. Reporters, and here's another tidbit for all of those listening, because I know a couple of you had messaged me and said, Ray Markey and Len Paletta are attacking you on the DC 37 page. I don't care. The fact is the fact. Listen, and I'll do a post on this as well. I went through every public statement that Mayor Zohran Mamdani had made about Medicare Advantage. He says he disagrees with it. He says he doesn't like privatization of Medicare. He says he likes the New York Health Act. He said we wouldn't need to worry about this when he's mayor. Those are not issues. The issue is that a mayor, two mayors, actually three mayors tried to force us into Medicare Advantage. I don't really care what he doesn't like. He never came out of his mouth and said, I will not force those retirees into Medicare Advantage, and I will roll back those predatory copays. No one has said that from his administration. And until that happens, anything can happen. And here's the larger issue, and especially for you people freaking out over Leo Casey. I don't give two hoots about Leo Casey. I'm going to keep educating all of you onto the facts and the law. Eventually, he'll either give up or he'll just keep screaming his head off, because right now he's been sounding rather like a lunatic or an unhinged lunatic, if that's even possible. But don't stress out about all of that. Really don't. Emblem told me Prime is working on the Medicare eligible formulary for 27. Thus, those of us who are fighting to get a formulary exception. Yeah, so Ellen, unless you have a younger dependent, I don't see any reason at this point to be paying $180 a month. I think you could find a plan on the marketplace potentially that would cover your drug. And if I were you, I would start looking, because that $180 plan is insane. Have you read the UFT executive meeting note? Unity blames you. I didn't read the note, but someone sent me information from yesterday's RTC. But I don't know what a UFT executive meeting note is. I don't know what that is, Mary Ellen. So you'd have to explain that to me. Hey, John, happy Friday. I got a solicitation from Kathy Hochul's campaign. I replied and said I can't vote for her because of Adrienne Adams. I know, I understand your frustration. So Gwen, one of the other retirees gave me the 3-page brochure that you got on the DEA plan. I looked at the plan document. It doesn't say anything. And so until I can talk to Carmine Russo, who I've sent an email and a voicemail to, and he's not called me back, but next week is another week. I will try to get back to him. I will try to keep pressuring him to call me back on Monday. Maybe the DEA will communicate with us and try to put your fears at ease, because there's a lot of you that are having concerns that you're calling the union, not getting your questions answered. And I mean, you and I both know we called there together and we still didn't get answers from the DEA, and we were actually treated quite rudely. So that all has to be fleshed out. But you should have your concerns put at ease, and someone should explain that to you and answer your questions. And if they're not doing it at the welfare fund level, then they should come on our show and talk to us and explain it to you here and reach the masses, because we definitely have a far reach than does the local, apparently. Leo Casey sounded like a jerk and must feel like a jerk. And I honestly, someone said, like, I don't know what's wrong with him. He's giving you free rent in his brain. I don't know. He dreams about me or something. It's actually kind of funny. But he's wrong in everything that he says. I understand yesterday, you guys were upset because he was saying that it was my fault that I killed Intro 1096. I didn't kill Intro 1096. The unions did. And we proved the unions did. UFT, DC 37, AFL, AFSCME. We showed you the reports that they had to file with the city and the state for lobbying against our bill in the city and the state levels. We showed you that evidence. They killed it. We even had our sponsors come to us and tell us who. So we know who. We know who did it. We know that the UFT was behind that, in collaboration with the AFL-CIO. The AFL-CIO told us who. So if they don't want to be, I don't know, have fingerprints on this, then get the hell off of our bill. Here's the deal. Leo is angry because we are a successful organization funded by the members. The members, you have full transparency. I come here every Friday. And I talk to you about the issues. I talk to you about what we're doing. We have a board. We have advisors. We have 2 law firms. We have a tax attorney, a bookkeeper. Like, we are doing everything legally and legitimately. And we're incorporated as a 501c5, which is just like a union. We've done everything by the book. Why is Leo unhappy and people like Leo? Because they see the success that we have. And now they're feeling irrelevant because you relied on them for something that they didn't do. And they got greedy. For the longest time, look, the unions were supposed to protect you. The unions were supposed to always have your back. We, throughout this whole fight, were able to expose what the leadership of the MLC did. The leadership of the MLC used the retirees and used the other unions to finance their contracts. Literally on the backs, DC 37, the UFT, on the backs of retirees and every other active union in the city. That had rarely been done. Going through the archives, we're seeing that that was done again in 2009 under Randy Weingarten. And it wasn't done to the extent that it was done in 2014. But when they get greedy and they think no one's going to notice and they keep doing things that people don't understand what's happening, or that they'll blame on the insurance company when it was really them that did it, and then they get caught with their hand in the cookie jar, they want to blame it on someone else. We would never have needed to exist and would have been happily retired had they not tried to take our healthcare benefits away that we earned and paid for and tried to force us into Medicare Advantage and privatize Medicare in the city of New York. Now think about that. About a third of our retirees are non-union. They're managerial, city council members, former commissioners, deputy mayors, mayors. And yet they're not understanding why people were angry with them. Yes, the United Federation of Teachers walked back their support for Medicare Advantage. Absolutely. However, right after that, they were still lobbying against our bill in the city and the state. We caught Bridget Rain doing that in the city council. And we know the AFL was doing it and the UFT were doing it in the state. We were told by the AFL-CIO and we were told by elected leaders. Politicians come to us and our lobbyists saying, I have to tell you this, but DC 37 and the UFT are here and they've been, pressuring me to get off your bill or not get on your bill. That's lobbying against you. Leo thinks I told you to not pay your COPE to the UFT because of Mamdani. Had nothing to do with Mamdani. If you go back and look at our video, the video came out in July, and it was strictly because of those lobbying reports. I showed it to all of you. So he's having a lapse of memory or maybe some cognitive issues, and I know how troubling that could be because I dealt with that with my mom. So I would say just maybe pray for Leo. Maybe Leo just needs some love and hugs and maybe a prayer. That's, I think, the best you could do for Leo. But I'll keep educating you, don't worry. Leo Casey's absurdity in the RTC yesterday proves how wrong he is, as if we needed proof. If he was right, he would just sit down, shut up, and gloat. And you know what, Diana? You guys passed that resolution by 82%. After his irrational rant. You guys rocked yesterday. I think my internet is slowing down here, but let's see. Let's check Instagram. No comments on Instagram. Okay, let's see. It was the RTC, sorry, but still respectful. Yes, disrespectful. I get you, Mary Ellen. Thank you for the explanation. But remember, I made a post again today on Substack. And if you're not on Substack, just take a peek at what I do over there, because that's where I'm writing and showing all of our fact checking for people that are putting stuff out there that's false, or in some cases I'm directly refuting Leo, but in others it's other people. You have other unity people that are trying to say things, and there's going to be a whole lot more. I mean, every time this happens, I'm going to tell you what happens. Every time Leo Casey tries to attack our organization or me, it empowers all of you, and it's really kind of exciting to see. It encourages many of us to write more and provide facts and fact check against those that are spreading that misinformation. So knowing that that's the case, it's making my Substack increase in followers, which means more people are reading. And even people who aren't following me or subscribe to my writing, they're reading anyway. And that still means we're reaching them. We have, I mean, over 160,000 people on the last email that opened our email. That is huge. And that tells you people are listening, active and retired, because some people are identifying as active when they sign up. So don't give up hope. I think there's a lot going on there. Ellen, we're doing okay. You don't really see me pushing for donations right now. We're kind of in a steady waiting to see pattern. We still have our 2 court cases kind of dangling. The copay case is still being negotiated. The legislation, we should have both city and state introduced very soon. And then I'll let you know. But right now, as our bills are okay, there's no real reason to push for more donation. So if you want to do our political action, that's fine, or make a special donation there, that's fine. But we're holding our own for right now, and I'm not wanting to make a push. I don't usually push until start a fundraiser until spring, and I'm trying to hold off on that. And when I meet with our board next week, if the board says, kind of give it a little nudge, I'll give it a nudge. But if they don't, I'm fine with that. I know that's another thing that Leo was talking about yesterday was our millions of dollars. Well, when you have to raise $2 million when your bills are $1.6 million. This is like the normal prudent thing that organizations have to do. Still, none of our board members or our advisors get paid. The only people that get paid are our attorneys and our bookkeeper, our tax lawyer, those kinds of people, our government liaison. These people get paid. But we don't get paid. We're still volunteers. Unlike, your Leo Casey's that make like $300,000 something thousand a year and have to complain that we're making too much money. Well, we're not really making too much money. We wouldn't be in this situation if they didn't put us here. So, I mean, I'm sure all of you would have probably been, I don't know, take up basket weaving or something else rather than being on Facebook and Twitter every Friday and using your pension to fight the city to protect your health care when the unions just should have done that. We have received letters from an entity called Conduent Secure Processing Center, which is telling us that there was a data breach. Yes. Your message got cut off, but yes, I am aware of that. And that, I believe, was done through Anthem. And it is reported. It's well known. I've known about this for a while. I'm disappointed that you're only getting that letter now. However, in that letter, it does ask you to create an account for free credit monitoring. So I would do that if I were you. But this is not unique to New York City. This was actually a nationwide thing. So I want you to know that as well. Speak the truth always. Absolutely, Mary Ellen. And I think that's what Leo doesn't like, is because he'll pontificate about something and then we come out and fact check it. And then he'll still, bolster or bluster about it. And he's not going to care. I mean, you have other bloggers that do that from time to time. But look, the UFT sits on $1.2, $1.3 billion in their welfare fund. They make millions of dollars. If you go to the United Federation of Teachers 990 and go look at all the money that they take in and then look at all the money that they pay out to people, then maybe you would be questioning the UFT's expenditures as well. And why are they increasing your dues when they have all of that money? But then remember, they own multiple real estate properties. They have to pay for those buildings and pay for the mortgages and pay for the taxes and pay for all of the people that work in those buildings. Mulgrew, I hear, has a chauffeur. He needs to pay the chauffeur. He has staff, all the people, all the consultants. He has all. If you look at those 990s, or you go to the Department of Labor, let me see if I have one of them up. I can share that with you. But I mean, when you have an organization and the organization has a lot of people, working for it and are all making six-figure salaries. What are you supposed to do? You have to keep dues coming in so that you could pay all of those people. I mean, there's really no other way to say that. So give me 1 second, and then I'm going to show you. For example, you can go to the U.S. Department of Labor website and look up any union. And I'm going to show you how to do it now. Hold on. U.S. Oops. You would figure when I want to do it, it doesn't work. Okay, now I'm going to do a shared screen, and I'm going to walk you through how to do this. Share screen. Share. Okay, let me come back to you. Now, when you get to this page, let me just make sure you can still see it. Okay, this is the United States Department of Labor website. And when you get there, you're going to come over here, search labor management reports. See, you're going to click union reports. And that'll open up this screen. Now, this can be kind of confusing, and their website's really wonky, but you need to have a file number, or you need to search by officers or by union number, right? Hold on a second. Okay, so what you do is you come back in here and you put the file number 063924, and that'll bring up the unions, the UFT that we want to look at. Yeah, don't do it on your phone. Do it on your computer. It makes it so much easier because it's a lot of data on this page, and it's really not friendly. So here it lists the 2025, and there's a way, and I think it's up in here to list them all the previous ones, which you can, of course, look at. And then it brings you to this page. And this page is and you can do this for any union. And they're supposed to be filing them, but don't be shocked if you find that some of them aren't filing them, because some of them aren't. But this is how you look them up. So let's say you wanted to find out how much Michael Mulgrew makes. So I just type in the name, and then it'll tell you how many times Mulgrew is here. So Mulgrew actually is listed here as president, that his gross salary is $353,829. He has disbursements for business of another $35,000, and his total income is $388,994. So you could look up any person on this list, anyone, and it'll tell you, what they make. I know someone asked me to look up Leo Casey, but Leo doesn't work for the union anymore, so he doesn't come up. But you can look back as to what he made, and you can even go into another the AFT's documents, and you can find. So all these people getting paid. Look at all of this. They're all getting salary, $200,000. And you can even search, like you'll see here, like special reps, and you can search by, here you want to see another one, you can do consultants. They also do consultant. They have the word consultant comes up 38 times. That's a lot of consultants. Look at all the different consultants that they have that they label as a consultant on their page. Then they also have another one called vendor. You can go and see all the people that they're paying for vendor. And it'll tell you consultant. So you want to see how this union spends their money. It's shocking, if Leo wants to talk about something like that. Here, if you come up, you can look at what they spend on investments. This is all the properties that they own. Their office fixtures. They have other financial investments here. $5 million in short-term bonds. They have loans receivable, which means they've made loans to their UFT Memorial, their 50 Broadway. They have all of that, right? Here's other organizations that they have where they receive money from. But you can see, I mean, their costs, their receipts, this union brings in almost $260 million a year. Their expenses are listed over here and what they disperse, and their net total, total disbursements. So you can look at all of their financial informations, their assets, everything right on this page, and learn all about any union that you want to. And trust me, I mean, I don't understand why people don't ask more questions about them, but yet Leo is like hung around the axle about our little tiny organization, bringing in $2 million, or why we don't ask for more money because he noted our revenues went down. That's because we're not on a steady everyone just paying dues. We have expenses. Our attorney fees, if you remember, range sometimes $5, $10, $20, $200,000 a month. So when you have two lawsuits and one in two different courts, plus legislation going, our expenses are there and legitimate. But he likes to think we're like going to Fiji or Tahiti. You always see me in the same background, and you see me here with my dog here. Like, you always know I'm here, not like going off to Fiji. So don't give him any credence or any credibility. He just seems to, I think Leo just needs love. Maybe Leo needs more love in his life. And your refutation to the lies on Substack and your daily news op-ed are beautifully written. You're welcome, Laura. Having Adrian Adams as part of Hochul's re-election campaign as lieutenant governor, isn't that like having TC37 as our future governor? I'm so sorry, Dan. Congrats on your guest opinion in the news. It was really to the point without any accusations or accuracy. Thank you, John. I appreciate it. We have a really good team that really does work great. There are endless law firms on retainer on the LM2. Yes, and millions of dollars to Alan Klinger as well as others. Yes, I hear you. Have you heard of any further complaints regarding doctors' offices having problems finding the plan? No, since we put out that document in our newsletter last week, those complaints have actually died down. If you're still having them, write to the org and let us know. But since we gave that information out, no, I've not had any issues. So glad to find out from them, and not the you. I hear you. I don't know. Is Leo over 65? I believe so. Yeah, I believe so. Let's see. Matthew, her name was full correct. Bottom line, it took 20 minutes for their rep to locate her record. Oh, Matthew, I must have missed part of your first comment. Oh, here's the first one. Important item, Prime Therapeutic all of a sudden couldn't find my spouse in their system. Apparently a hyphenated maiden name was truncated to only my last name, yet in my secure sign on her name. Matthew, if you would send that to me in an email, please, to the org, so I can get that to the IT team to look at, so that someone's paying attention to it. Hello from Fort Myers. Leo is a jealous POS who wants his unity check. Yeah, like I said, he needs love. He needs a hug. All of you should give him, email Leo. I think it's leocasey@gmail.com. Email Leo and tell Leo you're praying for his soul. Because if he was the big leader, big union leader that he is, a big unionist that he thinks he is, then he would have been helping us fight this battle from the get-go, whether he likes me or not, because there's other people that do that. And they may not have liked our initial tactics, but look, we had to do what we had to do to get our voices heard because we were being told, everyone was being told not to listen to us. And then remember, they were calling us rump retirees, that small little retiree group. And now they're fearful because we are a powerhouse and they don't like that. And I don't have a mousy little voice, so they definitely hear retirees and they hear all of you when the time is needed. They don't like that either because you're not relying on them now. You're relying on this organization to fiercely advocate for you, which is really what should have been happening the whole time. You needed to have them advocate for you fiercely. And when they failed you in that and lied and took your healthcare benefits, then you needed someone to have your back. In addition to the IRS 990 see-through New York list, salaries, pensions, and municipal, yes, they absolutely do. But you don't see, and I haven't been able to find, are union pensions. So like Leo gets a pension from the UFT. Leo gets a pension, I believe, from the UFT. Leo also, I believe, gets a pension from the AFT. Now, Leo just retired, but he was making like over $250,000 at the AFT in Washington, plus the city's pension, plus his UFT pension. That's a lot of money. But he wants to rip on us for whatever reason. I have no idea. All those UFT consultants and yet no union drunk plan. Hello, ding, ding, ding. Like, Ellen, that is the issue. The largest union, the richest union, and yet they don't cover their retirees. What the hell? I don't know. And a hyphenated name cannot have the hyphen if it's not on the card that way. I don't understand any of this. Why are they making this so difficult? Hi, Marianne. David and Susie just registered. Thank you, David and Susie. I hope you guys are doing well. Do you mean you're not in Fiji? Yeah, this is a fake background. I have a fake dog. I'm really in the Fiji Islands somewhere. Yes, that's like not my contractor outside working on my deck. I was about to fall off my house. Yeah, no. Check Leo in ChatGPT. Looking at it now, he is with the AFT and some other juicy issues. Ooh, do tell, Larry. As I've said, I wonder if DC 37 and UFT engineered Adrian's, you just never know. It's possible. They think that they have that power now, whatever. Tommy, you're coming? That's awesome. I'm really glad. We need to keep pressure on why the MLC never seriously explored combining 100 separate welfare funds, duplicate. Well, and I'll tell you why. Every union wants to represent its own members. And while they'll talk about the leverage of using the power of the MLC to negotiate healthcare, they're not doing the same thing, the leverage of the union plans, of the welfare fund plans, which they should do. I would definitely advise the MLC change its weighted voting structure to one union, one vote. And then they could actually have combining their welfare funds and make a very large board, because I bet you their buying power would be a hell of a lot greater if they did that. And you'd have no bullying of the largest unions in that kind of a setup. But again, we're just on the outside looking in. It absolutely has to be them to make those decisions. Who has Lander's accountability report, Mamdani or? So we all have this document and it's been shared very widely. And I will tell you, a lot of people are asking about it. The testimony letter is going to our government liaison, and it was submitted to the proper committee for that testimony. You will find out where, I believe, tomorrow or Monday. If anyone here was in the retirees chapter meeting, Marianne's conduit advice is way better than the one. Oh, Diane. Okay. So that was another issue there. There were so many things that infuriated me about that. So first, please register for the free credit monitoring. That would definitely help alert you as is something else. You don't need to buy anything. Just read the letter, make sure if there's a sign up that you sign up for it. That way it's being monitored, right? The other thing that came across our desk was copays. You are not supposed to pay copays until your deductible for Medicare and senior care has been paid. So it's disingenuous for your former union to tell you to just pay it, because then you have to worry about mitigating the bills, and then you have to fight the bills to make sure that when things don't go the right way. That shouldn't be your job. You have enough stress in life than to be matching up bills to EOBs and making sure that the billing was done the right way. If they did their job the right way the first time, and Leah and Jeff actually advocated for you, like we've been asking the UFT to do, is to make sure that the cards get printed that say that copays are collectible after you've met your deductible. When they refuse to do that, they're not really looking out for you. That's the argument that we're making. You don't need any more headaches. I'm trying to make your life easy. So we have been fighting, and our attorneys again talked about that today, and that is an issue we keep bringing up to the city, and we're going to keep bringing up to the city. And we are hoping that that will be fixed, and we will do that with or without your former unions. I would prefer with, but if they're choosing not to get involved in that and telling you to just pay it, that was pretty outlandish to hear that yesterday. For city employees who have joint city and union positions, New York City Doris posts on its website the annual salary list for all civil servants. No kidding. I'm going to have to go look at that. I was on Doris today, but I was looking for documents. Leo needs the monks in their love. What's the best way to email you? I won't be able to go with you on the trip to the legislatures. I have to show up at MSK, but I will pray for you. Well, I will pray for you too if you're going to MSK. So email us at the organization, retirees@nycretirees.org. And John, if you're getting our emails, which you should be, just reply. It should go right to the org, nycretirees.org, retirees@nycretirees.org. The last document on the copay case lists today's date for dispositive motions. Oh, I think I know what that's from. Hold on a second. I'm sure there'll be an extension. I'll let you know about that on Monday. Yeah, I'll let you know about that on Monday. Let's see. And I'll take a snapshot of that. Okay. When is DC 37 Garrido owned controller Mark? What audit? Levine going to talk about the Lander audit. I don't know. We're working on getting an appointment with him as well. Signing in late. Can we get a petition? Ann. No. Fear a driving force in Lee. I definitely believe there's fear in, I think he has fear of, look, their organization did a lot of wrong things. You had Leroy Barr, who is sitting on the board, who's still sitting on the board of Medicare Rights Center, and yet the union still tried to force us into Medicare Advantage. There's a lot of problems there. And yet then you have all of these people who testified in city council on the on January 9th of 2023 about the Medicare Advantage, but they all wanted their senior care and wanted to pay for senior care, not be forced into Medicare Advantage. And they didn't care that most of you couldn't afford to pay for senior care. They could. That's all they cared about. They wanted the choice to pay. We shouldn't be advocating for pay. Your former unions should not be arguing not to advance labor. We shouldn't be arguing against ourselves. You should be making the biggest argument that you could make to get the most that you possibly can, knowing that you're going to settle somewhere in the middle. But if you walk in there diminishing your own value, then that's what you get. Diminished value. This is what I keep saying. The unions want to negotiate a raise, but they're being told that they have to give something up. They don't have to give something up. Value of everything in this world increases, always. Always. Nothing in this world that your work, your car. You want to buy a car today? You buy a car 20 years ago. The car that you bought 20 years ago today cost you 3 times that. You buy a pair of jeans when you were 20. You buy a pair of jeans today. That pair of jeans costs you more. Why should you always make the same? If you're listening to management say you're only worth this much, if you want more, take something out of your box and I'll give you something else. Why? The unions are not being strong. They should be getting together and fighting for each other. Why are unions have no contract for years? Where is the MLC arguing that those unions are being left behind? Where are those unions in solidarity arguing that those unions shouldn't be left behind? How come we're not seeing more unions picketing on the picket lines with the nurses every single day? I look through the photos every single day and I see who's there. And the nurses have this amazing app this link that you could see where their protests are. And then you go to social media and you look who's on the picket lines. If you remember, it was like 2022 or 2023, me and Neil and a group of about 50 retirees, Merit, we all got off the bus. We got off the subway going to court, and we heard that a union that came up from Tennessee, the Bakers and Confectionery Union from Tennessee or Kentucky, came up to New York City because that's where the company was headquartered in Midtown. And that there was a strike there, but they couldn't bring their workers there. It was Midtown. So there was 3 guys. And so the Central Labor Council brought a couple of guys and an inflatable rat, but there were still 6 people. And then we show up and we had the press come with us because the press was with us after we went to court. That's solidarity. That's union activism. When you say, I got your brother, your back brother, or I have your back sister, or we stand with you in solidarity, that's what we did. There's 160 something unions in the city of New York. Where the hell were they? That's the question. We should be helping lift each other up. We help lift up the retirees. We advocate fiercely for your benefits. That's what our job is. And I think it is fear. I absolutely do. I think he's afraid that there's a lot of history there. I think they're afraid that we know what we're doing. We're getting bigger by the day, and we are a force to be reckoned with because we are advocating for ourselves, something that others should have done for us. And since they failed at that colossally, not just a littly, colossally, making a new word, then we don't really need them anymore because we're doing what they should have done, protect us. And I think they didn't really want it exposed that retirees are not in the union. And that also bothers them because they're keeping many of you tied to the union through insurance programs that you may not need or you could live without. But in order to get those benefits, you have to pay the union dues. So you have the retiree dues, the retiree chapter dues, and you have the insurance product. And yet we're hearing today that CSA has those similar products, but doesn't charge for them. How could a smaller union of principals be able to give you a plan for no cost? And the UFT charges you for it. So there's a lot of questions there. I mean, is the UFT operating like AARP? Makes you wonder, why are you being charged for something when the other union isn't charging their members for it? But there's a lot of questions. And yeah, I think it is fear. They just don't like that we know what we're talking about. And I think they discounted us. As author says, the unity will tell you, sit down and shut up. We don't need to sit down and shut up. I'm not going to sit down and shut up, and I don't want you to sit down and shut up either. Our job is to make sure that we're protected. And if no one else is going to do it, we will. I want to announce again, I need you all to keep looking for any proofs of payment for your copay case for 2022, January 1 of 2022 to January 12th of 2023. I will keep reminding you to do it because I just don't know when that case is going to settle. But you'll have time. It's no stress. I mean, nothing's come up so far. And so far that the dates, William, you asked about the dates for the copay case on the docket. They don't apply because we're in settlement talks. I know it's for a year, but they'll just keep bumping them up. So just hang tight on that. Again, anyone who needs to know the wrong advice in the chapter meeting by Jeff Sorkin, who laughed and said, "Hey, it's only being charged $15. Be quiet and say nothing." I was flabbergasted by that because he was insinuating you were only getting charged $15 copay and you weren't going to be charged the $283 deductible. I have never walked in the doctor and been asked for my deductible upfront at the window. Never. Because Medicare has to pull the bill through. They don't know. Even if it's your third visit, you don't know what claim has been processed by Medicare already. So to say that to you is disingenuous. It's completely wrong to even insinuate that and then make it sound like you're getting over by paying $15 and not paying the deductible at the window. We've never paid a deductible at the window. And that's because the doctor can't collect a deductible that he doesn't know exists. The claim hasn't been processed. And it's shocking that he is the director of the welfare fund. But we'll have more on that next week. I just need a little more time to put that together. Non-religious comment. Have you ever seen or followed the Walk for Peace? So Larry, you might have missed my Facebook posts a couple weeks ago when they were literally down the block from me. Wonder if it was the UFT offering Unity spokespersons behind the scenes reimbursement of their $196. I don't know. Active union members first time ever think nothing up for tiny raises, used to pay ever increasing copays. I have same argument with tier 6. Why haven't they involved other unions? It impacts other unions, but it's just UFT and NICET. That's an interesting question. I know. Yes, I did talk about that. Go back and watch. I also thank you for advocating for better accountability within the traditional Medicare in your last radio show with your guest. There aren't enough officials insisting that it doesn't go under. Too many remind me of how the MLC bankrupted the HISF. And so the gentleman that I had on our radio show was Douglas Pagnozzi, and Douglas is a retired UFT. So it was nice to speak with him and learn about his career, what he's done as a teacher. He was a math teacher for a really long time. We joked about that because I sucked at math. But he talked about Medicare fraud, something that we talk about all the time. And he had a really interesting case. And I had asked you guys if you had cases of Medicare fraud. I wanted to know, and I wanted to see the EOB or the bill that you got, because I'm trying to get a reporter to write about this. I'll redact your personal information before sharing anything. But yeah, it's huge, like 20,000, 80,000, and multiple times are we seeing this. So pretty darn scary, to be honest with you. Be quiet, say nothing, speaks volumes about his approach to integrity, is doing the right thing when no one is looking. I worked the office at the oncologist, hematologist all through high school and college. I dealt with billing, and you would never ask Medicare patients to do deductible. Katie, I am not kidding you. I will talk to you later. Sanitation union, when you are on specialty medicine that costs thousands, you have to pay and meet the 2100. So Angela, you are on a specialty medication. You have a maximum out of pocket of $2,100, which means that is the most you will spend in 12 months. But you make a valid point. What happens if you are on a specialty medication and that copay is like $700 and you can't pay that $700 in 1 month? Your plan, including the city plan, has a benefit. Let me grab that. Let me see where I put it because I have too many windows open at this point. I probably closed it. Give me 1 second. I want to pull up. There's a program both in the local 831 plan and the city emblem drug plan. And it is called, so your copay was $13.89. So then this might actually help you. It is called the prescription payment plan. Let me see if I could share that screen. Okay. I just put the link in the chat, and this brings you to Medicare. Give me 1 second to show you where I'm going. Okay. So you're going to get to this page. And it says, what's the Medicare prescription payment plan? The Medicare prescription payment plan is a payment option that works with your current drug coverage to help you manage your out-of-pocket costs for drugs covered by your plan by spreading them across the calendar year, January to December. Anyone with a Medicare drug plan or a Medicare health plan with the drug coverage, and those are like your MA people, can use this payment option. All plans offer this payment option, and participation is voluntary. If you select this payment option, each month you'll continue to pay your plan premium if you have one. That's for those of you on the marketplace. For those in the city, you don't. And you will get a bill from your health or drug plan to pay for your prescription drugs instead of you paying the pharmacy. There is no cost to participate in this plan. There's a little video here you could watch. I'm not going to play it here. And then at the bottom, it says, what do you want to do next? What to know before participating? Will this payment option help me? And what to know if I'm participating? Now, hold on, I want to drop that link. Is there anyone? There's still a couple people on Instagram. I'm going to put that link into Instagram as well, so you see what I'm talking about. Okay, so if this plan would benefit you, you should inquire about it. I would suggest calling your pharmacy or going there and talking to the pharmacist about using your card to extend those payments over 12 months, knowing that you have a maximum out of pocket for $2,100. In your case, Angela, you would end up 2 months, and you would hit that max. But that's going to be hard for you to pay all at once. I know I could never pay that. So that might actually help you. Now, if that program doesn't help you, let me explain one more thing. So you might want to look into a credit card called Care Credit. care credit I use for me, I use for my dog. I mean, Jules had surgery a couple weeks ago, and that was the second time since the summer. And so I can't afford to pay a couple $1,000s for her surgery. This allows me for like 6 months with no interest, and then that would, help me pay that off. So consider those first. Please contact your pharmacy, because the other one, there's no interest. There's nothing else. They're just taking what you owe and breaking it up. And then if that's not going to work for you for whatever reason, look into the other option. And those cards typically have like a 6-month or 12-month no interest. Know what the terms are before you use it. Bring it to your pharmacy and see if that actually helps you. Okay. Express Scripts shorted me a half a pill. I got 89 and a half. They're sending me one. Good. I'm glad. Always, 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 always count your pills. Always count your medicine, because just because it's in a bottle, if the bottle isn't sealed, like came from the manufacturer and someone counted it, it's always possible that there's a mistake. Great. Let me know how that works out for you. I just went to my doctor today. Copay was the first. Of course it was. You can't make this stuff up. Nope, you absolutely can't. What's our next writing assignment? I don't have one yet. No, Mom Donnie has not called me. And you're welcome. Okay, so just stay in touch with us. Please make sure you're registered with our emails, nycretirees.org. It's literally floating right down here at the bottom. You can do your newsletters. You could do your donations. You can, do everything right from that one spot. Create a login for yourself, because that way you'll always have your portal. You can send us messages through the portal. You can make your donations through the portal. You can change your donation, change the amount of donation, change the date of the donation, change it. So it puts you in the driver's seat to control your connection with us, right? Use your look at your newsletters. I'm like frozen again. Oops. Okay, let's see. Sleep apnea is a major problem. Medicare might cover Zepbound for sleep apnea and later for weight loss. The CPAP machine is a disaster for many. So, John, I don't know why the sleep apnea machine would be a disaster for many. It would only be a disaster if you're not using it as prescribed, which means you're supposed to use it every night for at least 4 to 6 hours, preferably closer to 6, and really preferably closer to 8. So if you're not using a new CPAP covered by Medicare, often they're not going to pay for it, and they're not going to pay for your supplies. So I'm going to encourage all of you to use your CPAP machines if you have them, because it also helps save your heart and save your brain. It's really important for you to use those things the right way. And yes, if you do, Medicare will cover it. If Medicare sees that you're not using it, because the doctor has to report that your machine reports back how often it's been used in order for them to continue covering it, they won't. And those are the rules. Medicare is getting me a new mouthpiece from a dentist. That's good. Yeah, I didn't plug in today because I was upstairs doing another live and the cord is still up there. So my apologies for my video lagging. But I'm literally on Wi-Fi and not connected like I usually am. Sorry, I'm late. Had a doctor appointment. Lots of challenges. So Marianne, let us know what's going on with this NYC EPPO issue for you. John Harrington, the new CPAPs are much better than they were a few years ago. Oh, absolutely. More intuitive and also data-wise. So I don't have anything else. Let me go and check over on Instagram and see if there's anything there. Nothing there. Okay. All right. Long Beach. Hey, should we start saving our EOBs and copays? No. Well, for the reimbursement, yes. That's a UFT reimbursement, but that has nothing to do with us. Is anyone from Staten Island going to Lobby Day? You know, Marianne, I'll tell you what I'll do. On our Facebook page, and I don't think any of the moderators are on here. On the Facebook page, I'll make a post today that says, is anyone from Staten Island joining us for Lobby Day? And then I'll ask that, that you want to go as a team, like as a group to, back and forth from Staten Island to the city. So let's see if that gets any replies. And of course, we'll have to tell everyone don't reply unless the answer is yes. Otherwise, you'll get a million messages. So let me check that out, okay? Thank you for always taking the time to answer our questions and telling us what we need to know. Hope you can enjoy your weekend. I'm going to enjoy my weekend. I do not know who is on football, but I always like to watch the commercials. And Bob told me today that the Super Bowl is Sunday. So hope you guys enjoy your weekend as well and get to do something nice. Let's see. We talked about everything. I told you to keep looking for those copay receipts. March 24th is our Lobby Day bus trip. Please sign up for our Lobby Day bus trip. We love Puppy Bowl. What's Puppy Bowl? I've had several actives who receive texts from Express Scripts saying their prescription isn't covered. When they log on to Express Scripts for Welfare Fund, it appears. So can you message me about that? Like, can I get one of those text messages and a name if they need help? Like, I need to know why that. First, show me the text message, and I don't need a name unless they ask me. If they need a name, I'll let you know. Via Super Bowl. Puppy Super Bowl is on before Super Bowl. Really? Okay. I guess I don't think I ever knew about that. I know I was looking to get another dog as I think Jules is getting lonely. It gets very funny. I will love Puppy Bowl. Okay. I will make sure I watch Puppy Bowl. I really want a Samoyed. I keep looking at Samoyeds, and I think because Sugar was an Eskimo, so she's kind of Samoyed, and Jules is an Eskimo Pomeranian, but I don't know. What can I tell you? All right, so it's after 6. I'm going to give you guys the rest of the night off. Enjoy your weekend. You don't have anything to do other than to sign up for Lobby Day on March 24th and enjoy your weekend. All right, guys, it was great seeing you again. I will see you Monday on the radio. Have a good night. Ciao.
Don't speak what you don't understand. The truth is not in your command. Don't shout about what you think is fake. The decision isn't yours to make. Don't lie about the way things are. Tall tales will take you very far. Don't scoff when they say it's the end. In this life, you know you can't pretend. The days pass by.